Hello. So in our lesson today, just to quickly summarize what we have done today, we created a coin collection system because and to create a place for the wall or to the door, to secret door to open, we will require some certain points. So here are the couple of steps that will be needed. First, you need to collect some amount of coins. Maybe up to you. It's you who's going to decide. Second, once you collect that point, you're going to be stepping up onto let's say, a secret area where once you're going to step on it, the door will open. So to make this thing work, basically, we were able to finish the first two steps, or mainly the first step using the leaderboard scripting and making a coin. So let's do that thing. First, let's work on the model side. You can work on the very same map, or you can start with a new template map, but it's better to use the same map itself. Step one, you're gonna create the wall. So I'm gonna drag this block here, scale it up, uh, the way you would like to design it. Make sure it is anchored. You can pick the color, you can pick the material. I'll go with cobblestone, I think. Yeah. I'll change the color a little bit darker. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to turn it into a wall. Let's keep it brown. Okay, that looks good. Now, to this wall, we need a couple of things. First, to make it more look like a wall structure. And we know that we need one secret door. So from all these three, or you can have like hundreds of them, it's fine. You just need to have one unique part named. So I'm gonna name this unique part as my wall, but you can have any other name too. So I have this unique part named wall, and the rest could be anything. Even you can have a big model of walls, and one of that, which is actually gonna open up or go transparent up and down, which we have done in the last lesson. We have to name it. So once that's pretty much done, now we need to work on the scripting side. Now, first, this whole thing in this lesson, we discussed two things. We discussed about creating a leaderboard or leader stats, which is basically going to tell what player is doing or giving you a track or information about the player movement in the game. Second, we're going to be working on with the coin collection. Coin, or you can name it anything like points, V-Bucks, or any kind of score. So step one, let's first create the leaderboard. To create the leaderboard, you need to go to server script service. From server script service, add a script. Name the script as leader stats. And in the print area, we're going to write here leader stats too. So we know that our leaderboard or leader stats script is working. Why we name it leader stats, we can also name it as leaderboard, but in Roblox, when the character joins in, there is a specific leaderboard or leader stats being connected to the player. That's why we need to make sure that leader stats is being used when you're creating a leaderboard for the player. What's leaderboard? Leaderboard is basically a track or information panel which tells what's happening in the game to that current player or group of player. For example, each time the player joins your game, we can connect a leaderboard to it. So let's say a kind of a GUI, which can be customized, usually gets connected to the player who is you, or like who's going to be playing the game, the player that's you who's going to be playing the game, or group of players. Any player or any one of them from all the players who are joining the game can be connected with a leaderboard. And leaderboard keep on adding up all the name of the players playing inside your game area. And leaderboard can have multiple items, or I would say multiple boxes of information. For example, player name. You can have, let's say today we're going to be discussing about the score or coins. So you can have coins, and you can keep on adding more. So first, I'm going to create a function. Well, it's going to be pretty simple. To create the function, all we need to do is local function. Let's name this function as on player join, but you can have any other name too. That's fine. And when this function runs, we need one thing to be added as a parameter, and that's going to be the player. Now, usually what are functions? Functions are block of codes which runs when called. So two steps to make a function. First, you define a function. Second, you need to call a function, because if you don't call a function, nothing is going to work. So calling function. And when are we going to call this function? We will say from game, go to players. That means all the players who are joining your game. From all the players joining your game, go to each player added. And from each player added, connect this function, which is on player join. Once that's done, you're going to go to the code and let's create a leaderboard for the player. So I'm going to create a leaderboard for the player. Let's say local leader stats, because that's the way it Roblox uses leaderboard for the player itself. Instance.new, as we have learned earlier, instance.new will let you automatically create elements, folders, effects into your game. So right now you're looking for a folder. Once we get the folder created, we need to give leader stats a parent. Parent is going to be the player because all the leaderboard connection are connected to the player itself. We can give it a name. So for referencing it in other scripts, and I'm going to name it as leader stats. That's done. Inside this leaderboard or leader stats, I would let's add a coin. So I'm going to say local coin. You can name it as V-Bucks, point, anything you want. Instance.new again. Inside the folder, I need a value to be added. It's up to you to either use integer value, which is also a number, or you can use, instead of int value, num value or number value. So instead of using int value, you can also go with number value. Both works. Now, local coin dot value. The beginning value of the coin would be 0. We would also need to give it a name. So local coin dot name is going to be on leaderboard. It should show up as coins. And also, I was thinking to get connected on multiple scripts ahead. There is an error. I'll just remove this thing out. And we don't need to say local all the time once a variable has been defined. Okay, now coin.parent, definitely leaderboard, because leaderboard's parent is the player, and parent for the rest of the things which is gonna go inside leaderboard will be their child. So there we go. And I think that's gonna be pretty much it. So when you're gonna play the game after the script, you will have your leaderboard activated, and also will be able to see that your coins value for now is 0. It's time to create the coin. So step 1, there are many ways. You can add images, you can make it cool, look cooler, effects and all, but I'll just create a very simple one by using a cylinder, pulling that cylinder up in the air. Let's make it more like digital coin. So I'm going to flat this thing up, get it up big. It still looks kind of very big for the coin. So I'm going to go down here. Let's say I'll change the size for Y to 0.2. Okay, that's flat enough. Good. I'll change the color to blue and change the material to glass. Okay, this looks pretty good. And you can add images on it. You can add a lot of things inside it. For now, I'm just going to keep it as simple as it could be and give it a name as coin. Make it anchor because it's floating up in the air and we don't want it to fall down. Now it's time to write down the script for this. So inside the coin, I'm going to add a script. And let's name this thing as coin collect script. Coin collect script. You can name it anything else too. It's up to you. So print, I'll say coin collect. Now, how's the script going to work? We're going to first need to connect a variable called coin, which is going to be the parent. So the script is inside the parent. So script.parent. Now, this variable is connected to the coin itself. Anything that happens to this coin will also happen to the model itself. So coin, first, I mean, just to double check, I'll make it anchored, true, and coin.transparency, let's say 0, so you can see it. Can collide, that means you can collide with it. It's going to be true. I'm also going to make a variable called God, so local God, which is also going to be, I'm going to set it to false. That means right now, you can go and access the coin. We have learned about it before. Local function, let's say coin collect, or just collect, and part touched. That means what part of the character is touching. And we will find who the player is, because there will be many players. So we can just use it a very simple way. That is from game. When the players are added to the game, find first child. That means from the character, find the child that is part touch dot parent. So we know whoever is touching the coin, because Roblox characters are divided into multiple parts like that. So whatever the part or the child is touching the coin, we will need to know who's the parent is. So once we know who the parent is, we can also get the name of the parent. And now the character can be connected. So that's how usually you're working in steps, referencing way. So once we know who the parent is, let's get the name. And that's it. Now we will write a condition. If the person is a player and so we're going to write a condition to check if the person is a player or not. And the second thing is if the god is false, because once the god is false, you're able to access it. And if these two things are true, then we're going to write the next part of the code. And that's going to be, first we can add the point. So we are basically looking to add 1 point to this thing created in our leaderboard. Right now the value is 0, but we will connect it from here. We will say from player, go to leader stats, because the leader stats is what the name we have given here. And from leader stats, go to coins. So if we have given another name, something like points, score, V-Bucks, or Robux or anything, you need to make sure that this spelling matches here. Once that thing is done, we will say the value will be changed. Value will be changed to basically again. So whatever the value we had earlier, it could be 2, 3, anything, add 1 to it. That's it. And after that, we would also create a kind of a animation, like change, not anchored, but let's change the transparency to 1, so it gets hidden. You won't be able to collide with it. And also, we will turn the God to true. That means now you cannot access anything. Also, you can play more things here. You can add sounds, blah, 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 anything you like. Wait for 2 seconds and get them back. That means make the coin go visible and yeah, make the coin go visible and you'll be able to access it. So 0, true, and this goes false. Now this whole function is only going to run when you're going to touch the coin. So when the coin is going to be touched, we're going to connect the function called collect. That's it. Let's test this thing out and see how this works. So when we play the game, we are over here. I'm going to go touch the coin. There we go. Oh, that was too much call, because there's a very short wait in between. But yeah, it works. So you just need to add more weight out here. So I'm going to pause this thing up. Instead of just keeping it for 2-second wait, let's say I have 5-second wait, because we need to make the coin respawn back after a while. And that's it. And can collide, everything else works fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can add more of sound effects, all effects, and this is what we did in the lesson so far. Next step is we're gonna create an empty invisible area over here, which is gonna run another condition to check if you have desired amount of points. For example, if a coin is 5 or bigger than or equal to 5, so we can let you go in through that secret door. Cool. That's it. That's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for watching. Bye.